Glad to be here. Agastya's basic mission is to spark curiosity and creativity at the student level and to a certain extent the teacher level as well. We now run about 100 different locations, programs through 70 mobile labs and 30 science centers, getting children to do things hands-on rather than just go through a rote memory-based didactic kind of work in the classroom. The teacher quality is a bit of an issue, as Maya and others pointed out in yesterday's session. And therefore, an intervention based on hands-on learning, using models and experiments, getting children to interact in class, ask questions, and go beyond what is written in the textbook is what we fundamentally do. We have scaled from something like one mobile lab in 10 years before to today, as I've said, 70 mobile labs, 30 science centers, reaching 1 million children in 12 states. That's what we do, and right now what is on our plate will make us just double that number in a single year. So we are going to be, we are in that tipping point, as it were, where our, the growth is going to be, will continue to be spectacular. How do we do that? I mean, to get back to the idea of tipping point, I think one of the things that we have done is not just concentrated on the basic program that we do, which is bringing awareness, curiosity, creativity at the lowest level, but building on programs on top of that. So today we have a suite of programs that we can mount on top of the basic program of awareness creation into interest, into curiosity, into project-based learning, into creativity, and ultimately, hopefully, innovation. So the entire pyramid of learning, of being curious, leading to innovation is something that we have. We have programs catering to at different levels. The second thing is the coverage and the geographical concentration that we have done earlier versus now, trying to go to other states and making sure that ecosystems are created, or if they exist, we become part of that. So this whole idea of tipping point of scale versus replication. Do you scale yourself, or are you in a position to do replication even by means that are not directly branded as Agastya or whatever, but you're able to deliver the ultimate mission and vision? And that's where, working with governments, as Ms. Arya pointed out, is very important, because ultimately, I think we can call ourselves successful when we can almost hand back to the government what we do, and they can do it in the same quality and in a massive scale. That's when you would have done real, scaling and replication. So our efforts are always to work in an integrated fashion with the government. We need the government support anyway, because the children won't come to our science centers or attend our mobile lab sessions unless the government permits that. And therefore, working with them, being appreciative of what they do rather than being critical, and making sure that you pick up any opportunity for you to help the government do this. For instance, the public-private partnership, where you invest something and then the government invests a lot more than that, but you create a much bigger reach and much better quality and so on and so forth. So to us, scale versus replication, the replication will always take the importance in defining the tipping point. And then of course, the other thing that we always look for is, do we now have the confidence to grow, scale, replicate, where we have strategies from financial to human resources to managerial ability to hardware, software, infrastructure, all of that, the strategy and the execution capability to overcome these constraints, and you're able to do that in a kind of a process-oriented fashion where I can replicate in the next state serious numbers of either mobile labs and so on. One of the things that I would like to point out is that constant innovation is the key. We had the campus in Kuppam in Andhra Pradesh. From there we went through the mobile lab route, We went to science centers where more work is done. And then we kind of understood that if this has to integrate with every school teacher, you've got to provide a mini lab practically every day to every teacher. How do you do that? And then therein was born the concept lab in a box, where we split up what we do in a mobile lab, disaggregate it into 10 different boxes for 10 different subjects, give it to 10 schools, make the lab box stay in a school for a week, facilitate the teacher and the trainer, and then make sure that there is a lab kind of a thing present, and therefore the teacher can engage in hands-on, excited learning on teaching every day of the week. Can we reach all those numbers? I think working with the government, we can, and as I said, we are at the tipping point to make it happen. Particularly Karnataka is a great case and example where with enlightened leadership, the current leadership is amazing in terms of wanting to make things happen in the right spirit, and we are able to go into an ecosystem model as well as the lab in a box oriented model to make the system integrate with them, and the government school teachers ultimately empowered to do what we do in the main. So
Great.
that's the way we are growing and reaching the tipping point.